Hey guys, we are back. The Supremo one is here. Creative Destruction 88. We're going to talk about a fantasy budget today. Fantasy budget. So, what's a fantasy budget? First, let's talk about a budget. What's a budget? We know what a budget is, right? It's it's your list of all the stuff you got to have money for, right? Your gas, your expenses, your bills, your savings, how you're going to divide up your money when you get it, planning on what you're going to do with that. So this concept is going to expand it out further. I find that most people, when they do their budget, they're just running off of what the bare minimum is. They just know, I need this for my cell phone. I need this for my rent. And then a bunch of the money they have just gets set over in this disposable income category and slowly just disappears. And then 6 months later, you don't have the money for this goal that you had. And this process is going to help you lock in on that and help you figure that out better so you can make better financial decisions in the long term. So this is just going to be kind of a generic exercise to show you a way you could do it. You don't have to do it this way. Everyone has different specifics. But we'll just jump into it, right? So first thing I got up here, housing. So housing, what's your housing cost? That could be anything. It could be your rent. That could be buying a house. That could be repairs. Are you a landlord? Maybe you need to take into account some money for repairs. So I'm going to write that up. And what did I write? Rent. Or hey, maybe you're saving up to buy a house. So we could put that there, buy a house. So what I would do is say your rent is $800 a month. Times 12 a year. Boom. Put that on there. Maybe you're setting aside $200 a month for the house. Put that up there. I would go ahead and include your utilities here. This is different for everyone, but you got your power, your water, trash for a lot of people. Sometimes these things are included together. I would then I put those down. I tally them up per month, and then I tend to round up, just to give you some safety. If something's $35 a month, just put it down as 40. Put it down as 40. Buy yourself a little bit of breathing room by saving like that. Plus, stuff goes up, so maybe it'll pay for itself when your utilities go up $10 a month in 4 months anyway. Same thing with the car. Maybe, do we want a new car? New car. Maybe you need new tires. Maybe your window's broken. Maybe you're saving up for a new car altogether. Like you want a truck as well. The truck you want to buy is going to cost like $10,000 or something like that. Put that in there. Tally up all your costs, even theoretical costs. You could put your theoretical costs in here. What if an accident happens? Maybe you want to start setting something in, just to have something aside. Savings, most generic thing, savings. I mean like actual savings, not your money you set aside to pull out later when you run out of the money in your checking account. There's people that do this in different ways. Some people, they like to do stocks. I would actually count that as an investment. We'll put that as a separate category. But stocks, maybe like silver, bonds, different things like that. Just depends on how much money you have. Gold. Some people like to save their money, a certain percentage of their money as cash. Other people like to put it into coins, because it holds value. This is going to be something that you got to figure out for yourself. But, you just put your theoretical amount. Put your fantasy amount on here. Maybe next year you want to buy $2,000 worth of silver. So just write it on there. We're going to write it in. Maybe you're going to, I want to own $1,000 of gold next year. We're just going to write $1,000 on there. Doesn't matter. This is your fantasy budget. There we go. You got your personal investments. We'll get gold up here. But when I wrote this up here, I was actually thinking investing in yourself. I'll give an example. I'm an artist. I do a lot of painting. You know, it's fun. A lot of painting. I got a lot of supplies. A lot of paint. So in this case, I would put, I'd incorporate my paint supplies in this category, you know. Investing in myself. Maybe you're trying to learn another language. You could put that here. Learn some skills. Get some certificates. You know, put that there. And all these things are going to cost different amounts of money. But let's say next year I'm going to spend $1,500 on paint supplies. Yeah, right. It's going to be way more. That's an example. Certs. Oh, maybe I'm going to get certified to sell insurance or something. Whatever. Really, this is just about putting everything out there. Getting all these things out. What is everything I want to buy in the next year? What are things I might want to buy? All that stuff. Get it out there. This is not based on how much money you make. This is a fantasy budget. Communication. That's you know, you got the net, phone, etc. Networking. Put your computer here. CPU probably be under that. Although that can be leisure, could be goofy time. But communication, your bills, your communication bills, and leisure. Say you know, hey, next July, I'm going to the beach. Figure out how much that's going to cost. Just make a fantasy number about it. Oh, say I'm going to spend $1,000 going to the beach. And let's say all the money I don't spend that I take with me automatically goes into gold and silver and paint and stuff like that. You know, you do something like that. Maybe then you put your gas. Maybe you know you like to take a fun trip to go see your friends every 2 weeks. Well, I know if I go see my friend that lives about a half an hour away, depending on the route I take, it might be $10 for a round trip. So work that in, you know. Take into account how much money you spend when you visit your friends, how much money you spend when you go out, all that. Put it in here and then expand it. Like I said, round up. So let's just say I'm going to give myself $300 a month for gas. That's just silly, but let's go ahead and do it. Then we could take all the excess, put it into something else, right? This is just the fantasy budget. We're going to do that. And then let's see how much money you make. So let's keep it simple. Let's say you make $2,000 a month. Oh man. A lot of people there. Not a good place to be. But you can do it. You can do it. Keep going. So then you make your $2,000 a month, right? Times 12. So you get your $24,000. And then now you start tallying all this up. Well, I can already tell you that whatever this is going to be more than you made. I can just tell you. That's okay though. That is okay. Let's say all this together is $30,000. All right, so we're going to add that together. So, say we do all this, you come to the conclusion, my fantasy budget is $54,000 next year. But wait, I only make $24,000 a year. Where am I going to get that extra money? That's a big part of what this is about. Now you know, wait a second, I need an extra $30,000. Man, if I want to do everything I want to do and be able to buy silver and have a new truck and all this stuff, I'll have to make some more money. So then you put your mind to what you're going to do to make more money. How are you going to make more money? You're going to get a new job. You know, you could get a new job, upgrade this, bam, $34,000. That's a big upgrade, you know. Maybe you got a side hustle. Maybe Maybe you're looking at some cuts. Maybe there's something you're doing you didn't take account for up here. Maybe you spend a lot of money on tobacco, on mota, who knows? Maybe you're spending a lot of money on energy drinks, something like that. Coffee, snacks, any of that stuff. You could look at some serious cuts, how to do that. But anyway, so the point of this exercise, it's just kind of a free, open exercise. The stakes are low, but it's about getting your mind grinding on what you want to do. What do you really need money for? A lot of us, we just live week to week, month to month, and then 6 months from now, we don't have that money for this thing we wanted to do. But if you take the time to put it down, really think about it, write it down, you can get it into your mind. Oh, wait, I need this money. You're going to spend it on something silly at the gas station. You know what? This is $10 that I could put towards my silver. $10 you can put towards your new truck account. Anything like that, So hopefully this is helpful. I would encourage you to do this. Take your time, have some fun. Just put out everything, I would encourage you just to write everything you want to do or buy in the next year. Everything you think you might want to do. Everything you think that you might want to buy. Any of that stuff. Put it down. Then it kind of expand out and you'll get a bird's eye view of what you're doing here. I found this process is really helpful for me. I did it last year. I did not reach my goal, but I got the closest to fantasy goal like that I've ever gotten. And this is really helpful because when you get everything out there, you can just really see what's going on. Sometimes you just got to throw it all out. And then you go, oh, wow, I keep spending all my money on this, but man, I could already had a truck already, So you can lay this out. I just think it really helps a lot. And you could do this as much as you want. You could, if you don't like it, say you look at all this and you're like, you know what? I don't want to buy a house. Come back, readjust the numbers. It's all good. You could change it in 2 weeks. It doesn't matter. But the point of this exercise is just to get you thinking longer term, broaden your horizons, quit living week to week, month to month. I guess on that note, we'll talk about trade-offs. So one of the biggest financial tips that's ever helped me is thinking of everything in terms of a trade-off. So say, oh man, I want to buy this paint. I want to buy this paint on a splurge buy when I'm at Walmart. I don't know. If I spend $30 on paint, that's that $30 of silver I was going to buy next week. I'm going to be short now. Or I'm going to have to pull that money from something else. If you think of things in terms of trade-offs, you always have something to compare your purchase to. And then when you don't splurge, you can still feel like you get a dub, Say you really, really, really want something at the store so bad, maybe it's the advertising, maybe the flavor is just so good, maybe it's the smell, whatever it is, this thing that's got its hooks in you. You want to spend that $30 so bad, that $50 so bad. But then, boom, the trade-off hits and you're like, wait a second, $50, that's my next XYZ. $50, that's my next tank of gas. $50, oh man, I could put this back for my beach trip. All that kind of thing. And then it really gets your mind thinking. And then when you're going through the day-to-day, going through the store, doing that, your mind's locking in on the future. I shouldn't buy that. I need to buy this. Keeps you in this state. Revisit this often. I think it's a really good thing to do. Just for fun. I like to write it all out and then look at it. But then every once in a while, it's just a great exercise to redo it. And say 3 months from now, maybe you already got your new car. Maybe you fixed your window and your tires. Maybe you got a new truck. Now it's time to build a new fantasy budget. Go from there. And I just want to really stress that having this big total in mind will really help pressure yourself to work harder to get that more money. Because a lot of times the people go like this. They go, oh, I'm making $24,000 this year. What can I do with $24,000? And that's where they get stuck. They're not trying to get $30,000. They're not trying to get $50,000. They're living off of this. But when you have a fantasy budget that's higher than the amount of money you make, watch and be amazed as you start working, pressuring yourself, figuring out how to solve problems. You start to get hungry. You're like, you know what? I gotta get a new job. I really want to buy that new truck. Man, this job sucks. Or maybe you're gonna look at some of your habits. Like for me, big one for me, I quit energy drinks last year. You know, I've relapsed a couple times on energy drinks. I've had a few, but I was drinking 1 or 2 a day, sometimes 3 a day when I was working overnight shift. And then I wouldn't drink them on the weekends usually. But sometimes it would get really bad. Sometimes I was spending $60 every 2 weeks on energy drinks. It's a lot of money. And it adds up. You know, when you're doing this, I want you to think about this. Curtail your gas station trips. You know, start using Amazon. Start buying stuff in bulk. Really lock in all this stuff. Because you're going to see what you spend money on that's like a waste. You're going to look at this and then you're going to go, wait a second. Did I really spend $1,000 on dip last year, you know? Start thinking about it. And I'd say write everything you do, you know? Like right now, if you're buying 2 cans of dip a week, write that on here. And then you might look at it and go, I don't know. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys watching today. Give it a shot. Make your own fantasy budget. And let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know if it's effective for you. And if you have any budget ideas, any savings ideas, as far as things, you know, how you like to break your savings, how you like to break down your percentages, all that, feel free to post it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Like, subscribe, and God bless. Have a great day, guys.